Welcome to another scrap wood challenge where I turn leftover wood and random junk into something surprisingly useful. Today's mission, build a backyard squirrel feeder using nothing but scraps. No store runs, no new lumber, just creativity, a few screws, and an old license plate that's about to become a roof. Okay, let's get started. When you're building from scraps, you don't start with a plan, you start with what you've got. After looking through my pile of scraps, I pulled a few short fence pickets, a couple of 1x2 cutoffs, and that beat up license plate that's been sitting around for a few years. I cut the boards for the back and bottom about 10 inches long. Every piece is different, so I just squared up the ends and adjusted the fit as I went. Some of these pieces are pressure treated wood, great for outdoor use, but it comes with a catch. If you're cutting or sanding treated wood indoors, always wear a mask or respirator. You don't want to breathe in that dust. Even with good ventilation, safety first. Treated lumber lasts longer outside, but that protection only helps if you protect yourself too. Hey, while we're talking about pressure treated wood, check out this video I did right here on talking about the fence picket phenomenon. The goal here is simple. A backboard, a small base for food, and a roof to keep the rain off. Nothing fancy, just functional. Before adding any screws, I glued and clamped each piece together for extra strength. The glue adds holding power, while the screws lock everything down for long-term durability. When you're working with small scraps, this extra step really pays off, especially outdoors. Now for the fun part, the roof. This old license plate is weatherproof, lightweight, and full of character. After digging through a box of metal odds and ends, I opted on using galvanized hose straps for the roof hinges. I figured these would work well for an added rustic folk art look and feel. After a few taps with a hammer, they're now closer to 90 degrees and should work out as planned. Unfortunately, the slots on the license plate were a bit too narrow, so I used the Dremel with a cutoff wheel to make them a little wider. I bent one edge of the license plate slightly to give it that 10 awning look, but you'll see later that I had to readjust that. Metal roof, wooden frame, that's maker math at its best. After the glue set, I pre-drilled and added a few screws to lock everything in place. Little boards like these love to split if you skip that step. Being that the peanuts are added from the top, I wanted to make sure they didn't just fall out before the guests arrived. I found another small strip that had been cut off from a fence picket and cut that down to length for a lip around the bottom. For the final touch, another piece of fence picket was added to the back in order to attach the feeder to a post or fence. And there it is, rustic, recycled, and ready for its new home. I gave this to my dad for his birthday. Every morning he goes out to feed the birds and was just leaving a handful of peanuts on the ground. He mounted it low on the fence, far enough away to keep the squirrels away from the bird feeders. After a handful of peanuts and a couple of whistles, here come the visitors. Instant entertainment, zero cost, and one less thing in the scrap pile. Not bad for a few offcuts and an old license plate. And remember, you don't need fancy tools, just a little imagination and a pile of scraps. Hey, don't leave yet. If you want some more ideas on what to do with that scrap wood, check out this video right here. I've got 13 creative more ways on how to get rid of that wood.